what you're gonna say. I can't believe what you're alluding to, Max. Let it out. Let it out. What are you trying to say?
He is going. This is my hot take. You just calm down. He is a great, great fighter. A good big man doesn't beat a great little man. It takes something more than a good big man to do that, and Lopez is more than just good.
Punches are not made, they are born. And this guy, Lopez, was born to punch. And he's got one other thing going for him, Steven and Max. He reminds me of Pacquiao, Lopez, in a way, not just with power in either hand, but his closing step, his ability to explode. You know, kind of like an athlete in football, basketball, any of those sports where it's not about running a 40, it's about the quickness. It's about the closing step, the burst. He's got that burst. Not everybody's got that burst.
Stephen A. Smith and Max Kellerman go head-to-head debating Shakur Stevenson versus Teofimo Lopez, breaking down skill, power, and championship resumes.
City, January 31st, Shakur Stevenson, Teofimo Lopez. I always say it, when boxing gets it right, no other sport comes close. And this is boxing getting it right. The best fighting the best. Both fighters believe that this matchup settles the argument about who leads the new era. So what do we think of the Styles matchup, guys? This is a high-speed chess match a la Sugar Ray Leonard or Pernell Whitaker, Leonard and Benitez, or Pernell Whitaker, Buddy McGirt, or is it a Jerry versus Jerry fight?
Stephen A. Smith praised Teofimo Lopez's quick defense, pointing to his sharp reflexes and ability to slip punches in close-range exchanges.
Sure to show the world that at 23 years of age, I'm a champion, and you're going to have to come take this from me. I'm not giving you a damn thing. I loved his quickness. We know about Lopez's power, but I'm talking about his quickness defensively. But I saw Lopez being elusive, and I love that because it's one thing for you to have the power and the quickness to go along with the power offensively. A lot of guys can look good until they get hit. There were times where he got hit, and there were other times where he was slipping.
He consistently highlights Teofimo Lopez's history of rising to the occasion on the biggest stages. Smith emphasizes that Lopez is never intimidated by elite competition, pointing to his dominant victory over Vasily Lomachenko as proof.
Lomachenko's footwork is exceptional. It's practically unrivaled. So you could see what he's done to numerous fighters, which contributed to them quitting, like Nicholas Walters and others. He tried that with Lopez. It didn't work. Lopez's footwork worked. His speed was there. Some power, obviously, but his elusivity is what impressed me most. The fact that he was able to slip a number, not all,
no,
but
he
a
turned
number
with
of those
Lomachenko.
pitches.
He wouldn't let Lomachenko establish his outside foot.
And I loved it.
Yeah, for me, coming into this fight, obviously I always talk to Max about fighting. I love it. I was thinking, and Lopez mentioned it pre-fight, everybody thought it was going to be very Mayweather-Canelo when they fought, and that he would be outclassed. If you look at the first 6 rounds, it was about patience. He was patient. He didn't rush himself. He used this jab, which is something that we aren't used to seeing.
Teddy Atlas joined Stephen A. Smith and Max Kellerman, arguing that Teofimo Lopez's toughest test is facing one of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the sport. Atlas emphasized Shakur Stevenson's elite fundamentals, noting that Lopez's athleticism alone won't be enough against a technician of that caliber.
Challenge lies ahead for Lopez this upcoming weekend.
What challenge? The challenge of fighting for me, my estimation, the pound-for-pound best fighter in the world. Either him or Crawford. You choose it, it doesn't matter. You could flip-flop either one of them. They're the two top guys. The challenge is to get his bomb to the target. Yeah, like Customano, my mentor, used to say, Teddy, having power is great, but if you don't have a means to get it to the target, it has no value. It's like a military weapon, he used to say. If you don't have a missile, it just blows up and makes a big hole in the ground. So that's the challenge. Get it to the target. Get it to the chin or the body. It might be a good idea with a guy who moves his head so much, but get it to the target with Lomachenko. So keep yourself together mentally with all that going on, with all the chaos stuff coming at you, and don't get discouraged, don't get frustrated. if he's hard.
Kellerman repeatedly stresses that Shakur Stevenson doesn't just win fights, he dismantles opponents. Through elite footwork, precise distance control, and sharp anticipation, Stevenson consistently dictates the pace and flow of every bout.
Shakur's one of those guys and who comes along, and I think this is really the question about him. I said he is one of those guys. Is he one of those guys? Like Purnell, like Roy, like Floyd, their defenses were so good, and they boxed in a way where they weren't going to take unnecessary risks. They weren't running and holding. You know, I had a problem with the second half of the Haney-Norman fight because I felt like they continue to box. Purnell did, Roy did, and Shakur does now, right? But when a guy has those advantages in boxing skill and speed, and they don't take risks, they are almost impossible to beat. So no matter who Purnell was fighting, no matter who Roy was fighting, if someone would have asked me who they're going to be, they're fighting Godzilla, Purnell. They're fighting Roy. Shakur has that look to me, and the style to me.
He acknowledged that both fighters possess elite skill sets, but emphasized that Shakur Stevenson is not a one-punch knockout artist. Instead, Stevenson wins through precision, defensive mastery, and total control of the ring rather than relying on raw knockout power.
The difference here is that they're both twitchy, they're both fast, they're both excellent boxers. Teo's a puncher. I know it hasn't shown up in recent fights, but we have watched both of their careers. Shakur is not a puncher.
No. Teo is.
Teo it can be an explosive, I hit you with a shot
And
you
you're
don't
out
see,
cold type,
and you are out cold type puncher.
And talking about power, strength too. I think Teo's going to be the much stronger guy in there. Shakur Stevenson's not a strong guy.
I think he's getting stronger.
Me too. I was about to say.
Definitely
But this is his first fight at 140 though. That's what I'm saying. I'm not disrespecting
I
his
feel like,
strength.
but I also feel like that Shakur might surprise you, Mike, with his physical strength. Physical strength, as we all know, doesn't always translate to punching power.
Sure, of course not.
But when he was a younger fighter, he looked like he could be moved around by his opponent.
Like
It doesn't look like that anymore.
No, he's definitely matured in his body. But first fight at 140, Teo's what? I think this is maybe his fifth fight at 140?
Yeah.
Something like that?
That's true, but Shakur has a frame where he can put on 140 very comfortably.
Max Kellerman notes that Shakur enters the fight with more to lose, carrying the weight of his technical reputation and undefeated status. Teofimo, on the other hand, has more to gain as the underdog, facing less pressure and greater opportunity, making the matchup both dangerous and unpredictable.
There's an advantage there where Shakur is fighting to protect that perfect record, to protect that kind of sense that he's the next guy. On the other hand, Teo is like he can fight with more abandon against Shakur because there's so much for him to gain. And if he loses, he's lost before. He's lost to Campbell.
Stevenson has openly stated how meaningful this fight is, framing it as an opportunity to prove he belongs among the very best pound-for-pound fighters in boxing.
People think the fight with Teo is either going to be you delivering a masterclass,
or a knockout by Teo.
yeah, or you getting into some type of brawl with Teo and end up getting knocked out, right? What are fans getting wrong about the matchup?
I think the fans is getting wrong about the matchup is where I'm not sleeping on that I know about Teo. Teo's a good boxer. He's boxer first. So we could say, oh, he's just going to knock you out. Or he's just going to... That's not him. He's boxing first. He's going to want to establish distance and range on the outside and try to beat me up on the outside. So I think that's the main thing. And also the biggest thing that everybody don't realize with me, I can punch. Everybody say, oh, he can't punch, and then boom, crack somebody, and then they laying down, or something may happen to where they hurt or something like that. So I think that's too big.
The matchup between Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez presents a fascinating tactical puzzle, where strategy, timing, and energy management could ultimately determine the outcome.
I don't think that Shakur is going to come out and try to fight or take the fight to Teo in the first 6 rounds at all. So if he's fighting off the back foot, if Teo can make it so that he's convincingly, or he's convinced at least Shakur that he may have won 4 of the first 6 rounds, you know, if it's 4-2 in Shakur's mind going into the second half of the fight, or if I'm looking at him stealing those first 6 rounds, then it's an interesting fight going into the tail end, because Teo, to me, is a front runner, right? I want to see if he can carry his energy and his explosiveness late in the fight and not wear down. And then when Shakur starts to open up, you know, can you steal some of those championship rounds from him and make it like a close fight. I think if Tio comes out and does what he usually does, which is try to swarm Shakur early and keep Shakur on the defensive early, then he can try to steal a lot of those early rounds. And if he does,
Lopez is frequently described as a fighter who starts fast, relying on mid-range explosiveness, sharp counters, and bursts of pressure early in fights. If he can't maintain that intensity over all 12 rounds, some analysts question whether his output might fade in the later championship rounds, giving Stevenson a chance to seize control.
If I'm looking at the first 3 rounds, first 4 rounds, and Tio looks like he's losing those rounds convincingly, then it's an easy night for Shakur, unanimous decision in my opinion. You know what I mean? Because I don't think Tio is going to bring anything late in the game, you know what I mean, to this fight. I think if he is who he's always been, you know, he's going to get gassed after like the 7th round and then take some rounds off. And when he does that, Shakur will open up and start to try to pick him apart, pot shot him, and do things like that. But this is the perfect fight, narrative-wise, for Shakur, because I've been waiting for Shakur to get into that fight where, you know, he doesn't have the fight where he doesn't have his Diego Corrales fight. You know what I mean? Where you think he's actually in danger. Shakur has been he's been outclassing everybody he's in the ring with. You know what I mean? Then the guys that you think could give him some work, like De Los Santos, I know people hate when I bring that fight up, but I want to see him actually in danger.
Insiders say matchups like Shakur Stevenson versus Teofimo Lopez are precisely what boxing needs today. Legendary former champion Roy Jones Jr. called it a true skill-for-skill battle, comparing it to elite showdowns like Canelo Alvarez versus Terrence Crawford. According to Jones, fights of this caliber restore credibility to the sport by pitting the best fighters against each other in their prime.
You up here, Shakur and Teofimo Lopez, Shakur Stevenson getting it on in about 3.5 weeks or something like that. Also on the undercard is Keyshawn Davis, but the main event. Let's jump into the main. Tell me what you're thinking.
You got an ultimate skill fighter versus a boxer who's twitchy. And twitchy sometimes beats out skills. Sometimes that's the side that can really beat a straight up boxer to me. Somebody who's twitchy. Because they don't fight, as normally as most boxers fight. They give angles, body movements, bouncing around like a Lomachenko would done. Even a Crawford does. You know what I'm saying? Moves different angles and so forth. That's why they can beat a lot of boxers.
Analysts concur, highlighting that both Stevenson and Lopez bring championship experience, star power, and a drive to prove themselves. Their contrasting styles, Stevenson's elite technical precision, defense, and ring intelligence versus Lopez's explosive power, speed, and aggression, set the stage for a high-stakes, must-watch clash. Matchups like this naturally spark debate, build anticipation, and captivate both casual and hardcore fans, as prime fighters take real risks against elite opposition. It's the kind of competitive drama that keeps boxing exciting and reignites fan passion.
Who know who's going to show up what day? What Shakur showing up? Or what Tio's going to show up? You get what I'm saying?
Nah, we gonna always Shakur gonna always be Shakur. The offense that we saw from him in his last fight was just, he knew what he had in front of him. And eventually he knew that he was going to be in a position where he could have his way with the kid who was in the ring. I'm losing his name off the top of my head.
Right, I know you're talking about. But I believe he fought that way because he started hearing all the call of him running. He started saying, you know what? Let me stay in the pocket, because he stood in the pocket a lot more than he normally stood in the pocket with that fight. You know what I'm saying?
It took some unnecessary shots.
Huh?
It took unnecessary shots.
Well, okay, right. But you see what kind of fan base he got after that too. The doubters started saying, you know what, I'm gonna roll with him more, because we were getting tired of him running and skillfully beating people. That gets boring. Like Mayweather did his last 10 fights.
Stevenson's boxing style often gets labeled as boring, but that misses the mastery behind his approach. He relies on elite footwork, precise counters, and defensive control rather than constant aggression or flashy exchanges. While many fans crave dramatic knockouts and non-stop action, Stevenson prioritizes strategy and ring intelligence. His methodical style may appear slow to casual viewers, but it makes him exceptionally hard to hit and highly effective against elite opponents. Though not flashy, Stevenson's technique showcases modern boxing brilliance, proving that control, timing, and tactical precision can be just as thrilling as raw knockout power.
I'm scared of Shakur.
Nobody's scared of Shakur, bro.
I think y'all be ducking
Shakur's scared of his shadow, bro.
I think y'all be ducking Shakur.
Shakur, you see his last fight?
What the fans want to see, though.
No, they don't.
Yes,
Stop hyping up Shakur.
I want to see Ryan and Shakur.
I've
Devin
not
and
heard that
Shakur.
at all.
Yeah.
I've never
You wouldn't want to see that?
I never heard.
Absolutely.
Hey, nobody on the street has ever been like, yo, Shakur, you would be crazy.
Who should Shakur Stevenson fight next?
I don't think he should fight at all ever again because he just puts the fans to sleep and he's not doing anything entertaining for the damn sport. Honestly, just kick him out of boxing, bro. He's horrible.
God damn.
I'm asking you this. You think Dana would put up with Shakur? He'd be the first one to get kicked out of the UFC, right or wrong?
I will say this. You're right. Dana definitely wants, because it's a promotion, it's an entertainment company.
Okay, boxing's an entertainment company too. He ain't doing the sport a favor, so kick him out.
How would that fight between him and David Haney go?
Honestly, man, if you want to get off to that, man, you're better off watching like Gabe.
Amir Khan has praised Shakur Stevenson as a highly skilled, technically gifted fighter who contributes significantly to the sport. Even if his style doesn't always captivate casual fans, Stevenson's precision, defense, and ring IQ make him exceptionally hard to hit and difficult to beat, the very essence of boxing. While Khan admires fighters like Teofimo Lopez for their aggression and power, he also respects Stevenson's elite abilities. He points out that fans often mistake tactical defensive mastery for boredom. Yet at the highest level, slipping punches, controlling distance, and outthinking an opponent are hallmarks of true boxing excellence. Stevenson's technique and consistent success against top competition demonstrate that there is genuine beauty in skill, not just in knockouts.
The criticism that Shakur gets, like people say that he's
boring and all that.
he's
Yeah.
not
I
entertaining.
mean, look, he's like an Andre Ward style. Andre Ward wasn't really that entertaining, but got the win. I mean, that's what boxing's all about. So I used to love watching Andre Ward fight because it was so punch perfect. I watched his footwork, how he moved to the right, to the left, and I trained with him as well, with Virgil, and I used to watch how he trained and how he fought, and I thought how he puts his hands out and uses it as a defense, and then pulls your hands down and catches you over the top, and them little things. So this is a fight that people can, because you got two different styles. You got an offensive, defensive in Lopez, and you've got a defensive in...
Shakur Stevenson has been outspoken and confident about his preparation and mindset ahead of a potential fight with Teofimo Lopez. Throughout training camp, he has emphasized feeling sharp, disciplined, and fully locked in, arguing that fans are about to see the best version of himself yet. Stevenson repeatedly stresses that his focus is on execution, not hype, trusting that his skill set will make the difference on fight night. While showing respect for Lopez's talent, athleticism, and power, Stevenson is clear that mistakes will not go unpunished. He believes Lopez's aggressive style can create openings, and he plans to exploit those moments with precision and timing. Confident in his game plan, Stevenson aims to impose his own pace and strategy, control the fight from start to finish, and deliver a performance that leaves no doubt about his elite status.
That division at that time and then the one above you, but it's in a message to the fans. But I think it also did something for you to prove to yourself that, man, listen, that wasn't like my best performance, but I showed you I can get it out the mud. What did that performance kind of do for you now that you look back at it?
Honestly, I think like styles-wise, I think that Zepeda's style is the style that's supposed to give me the most trouble. Like guys that box and give me time to think is the guys that's gonna have a fit with me all night. But the guys who press me and put me against some ropes and throw a million punches, that's the style that's supposed to give me trouble. So I went out there and I prevailed against that style, and now I'm fighting against a boxer, which for me, it just makes it more fun. I don't have to deal with a guy trying to like wear me down so much.
Will Lopez's power and aggression be enough to protect his belt, or can Stevenson's skill and strategy prevail? Share your thoughts in the comments below.